Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday, the 12th of November here at about 20 past 5. And as you can see, the American market is moving back up again. And all the measures of the trend on VectorVest are up. Yesterday, in fact, we got one of these little black stars, which is saying that the trend is up and momentum is increasing on the upside. So if I have a look at my dear old friend, the S&P 500, as you can see, we had a couple of days back, and it seems to want to break up through this inside day. So I was short for a couple of days, in fact, from about 70, and I got stopped out at the entry point this afternoon didn't make any money, didn't lose any money. I haven't got a position at the moment. I thought myself that we're going to see a steeper or a longer pullback. We shall see. We could easily get another wave down in this. Somewhere down to about here, where this wave and that wave are the same size. Let's see. It's looking quite positive this afternoon. So I've taken a new position. It's a share that I had a nice trade in from here called Builders. I got out, I think last Friday, in fact. Now, this week it's gone sideways, as you can see. So it gaps up on really good volume, and it's gone sideways on falling volume, and invariably that precedes a strong breakup. So I've got back into that this afternoon. As you can see, earnings per share moving up very strongly indeed, marked up very strongly indeed. So we'll see if that breaks in the right direction. The VectorVest valuation is up around 90 somewhere. So hopefully another nice little trade like that. But that setup's been very good to me over the years. Break up and huge volume, and then go sideways. And this little flag, if you actually looked at this probably on an hourly chart, I think you would see quite a nice 5-wave flag in there. Let's see if it breaks, but I couldn't resist that one. Let's go to gold. Gold moved very nicely after my video the other afternoon, based on that inflation number, which I'm sure you've all read about. Clearly, gold's got some tremendous headwinds at the moment, because you can see this fairly simple to draw trend line here, plus 78% of this range. And the bears are in fact saying that this is an impulse wave down, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this is 3 waves up. So the bears are making a case that the market's going to fall strongly from here. Let's see what happens. I think that it's going to wind up the spring. Even if it does break, it'll probably come back to 1825 before moving up. Let's see. It's looking very strong this afternoon, and looks as if, well, it's got another few hours to go, but looks as if it's going to close up somewhere around above 1860, which is a very strong weekly close indeed. So I have a position on the GDX that I mentioned the other afternoon, going quite nicely in from that first horizontal line. So it in fact came back and kissed this and then broke up quite nicely, and today it's charting an outside day, so that's a pretty good sign. So long on that, and we'll consider getting my stop loss up to entry. I haven't brought the stop loss up to entry yet, but I think I should before close of play. So that starting to look so good. So that's 2 positions, long the GDX and long Builders. I was short the S&P 500, but got stopped out of that position an hour and a half ago. So that's my progress. In the UK, well, in the UK we can see a great deal of green, and I've added 1 stock, and if I go to viewers, that's the portfolio I've got. I'm pushing up to getting pretty much fully invested. I've got some cash left for bargains. Volax, in fact, we'll look at that in a second. Volax took a smack on us yesterday. So I've bought into MACF.L. Now, one of the joys of being at VectorVest, we've got some great investors and traders in our webcasts, and this was suggested to me on Monday afternoon. I looked at the stock and I just liked what I saw. I've written up the rationale for MACF.L. At vectorvest.co.uk/blog, although I see as I speak they haven't in fact put it up as yet, but it should be up over the weekend. So Pershing Square is going well, although the fundamentals have deteriorated in this. Polymetals had a cracking week, off a bit today. ICP's had a good week. Kainos seems to be just about to break a new high. Let's have a look at that. And let's have a look at JD Sports. Let's have a look at MACF.L. So if I chart those three to start with, as you can see, this share I should have added to it. I didn't get stopped out of it in the pullback. As you can see, it's pulled back in 3 waves, and it's now pushing and towing with this all-time high. Earnings per share is rising strongly, and I didn't add to it because it's trading a long way above the VectorVest valuation. So, but looking really good. So that's this is JD Sports. And in this case, this flag pattern that I spoke about, a gap out of the flag, earnings per share rising, and this looks to me as if it wants to chart a new high relatively soon. So that's been great. That's my 3rd add on that share since last March, I think. And this is MACF.L, folks, and as you can see, it's never going to shoot the lights out, a stock like this, but it's moved from 90, a low of 90 in March this year, up to 139, which can't be bad. It's a 50% increase, give or take. Please excuse my sums off the top of my head. As you can see, it gapped through this old high, always a really good sign, and then it's come back and kissed it, and as you can see, the share has been doing pretty much the same thing for quite a while. See, it came back and kissed that. If I go back a little bit further, we can see that it did the same thing just there. So that's a good sign. Certainly from my technician's mind, that's a good sign. Earnings per share has risen from, over the last year, from 8p to 10p. And it pulled back to here. This to me looks like a corrective move, and that we're on our way again. The VectorVest valuation is up here, and the valuation moving away from the price. So RV is good, the relative safety is good. So I'm very happy to add that to the mix. Volex came back strongly, and as you can see, it's on a sell signal. There's always one, folks, and this was pretty much the same setup as JD Sports. And earnings per share has come down a little bit, but I'm not particularly worried as yet. Let's get rid of the value. Let's get rid of earnings per share so we can see the wood for the trees. This is a really important level. If the dust settles at this level, then all could be good. In fact, it could be, an excellent setup in the stock. If we have a look at the yearly chart, there is support, unfortunately, a little bit lower. So this is an important area, and if that area goes, then the share will have to be, the share will have to go. Simple as that. And I think those of you that are holding Avon from last year, I think maybe you've got a lesson in stop losses. Stop losses can be a real pain, folks, but at the same time, they protect you from colossal downside. Avon dropped 40% today, so I read in a financial website. So one of their products failed some form of test or other. This we have to watch very carefully. I had a look at it earlier. It was up 5p on the day. After a sell-off like this, it's going to take a while for the dust to settle, so that needs to be watched carefully indeed, but I'm reasonably happy with the rest of them. Lion Trust had a very good day, and CCC had a very good day. Looks as if it wants to move up strongly, and our POLR seems to have, in fact, charted a little double bottom, which I'm reasonably happy with. So steady as she goes, folks. The trends on VectorVest US and VectorVest UK all look good. I wouldn't be at all surprised, as I said a second ago, for this to pull back another little wave back before we get a move up into Christmas. With any luck, that's not going to happen, but just prepare yourself for that. Don't stress out too much if that does occur. So all is good, and I'm hoping that position in builders is going to break for me relatively soon. So I look over the weekend for some more setups for next week, and of course I'll be reviewing the UK market, the American market, commodities, copper in particular, on Monday afternoon at 1:30. So anybody that would like complimentary to that, then just email me, david.paul@vectorvest.com. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.